All right, so we're gonna start our tier list. All right, so traffic, here's where the tier list is gonna start, and we're gonna start the tier list with supports. And I know Giddy does not want to hear it. Giddy is covering their ears, la 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 la, like Val style. Kiriko. Kiriko. Best character in the game. Will forever probably be the best character in the game. I do not care. Even though she got nerfed this season, guess what? The character is still the best character in the game. Suzu being as good as a utility as it is and still heals, regardless if it does extra healing or not, is still fucking awesome. She does a lot of damage. Her ult is super good. She got buffed in the beginning of the season, so she can just heal, and nothing ever dies. All right. So we got that out of the way. Mizuki is B tier. His ultimate got changed. It lasts not as long and it does not heal as much. But the utility of him being able to CC things and stack a lot and do big AoE healing is still pretty decent. However, I would not pick the character over Kiriko. I enjoy Mizuki a lot. There's a lot of utility with the character. However, unfortunately, Kiriko does more. So there's not a lot of reason to pick this character since this character exists. But he's fun to play, and he has his uses. Juno is an A tier. Speed is a really good utility, and Juno has not gotten any nerfs or changes since last patch, and she's just pretty decent. I have nothing to say other than that she's decent, and she has speed utility. Wu Yang, I would say, is the bottom of B tier. Wu Yang does a lot of damage. His healing got changed not a while back ago, but it's not a lot of healing, especially since the tanks that are really good right now require a lot of burst healing, like Maga, which is why Kiriko is also so good. So Wu Yang kind of just doesn't do, I think, enough to justify playing him with what tanks are good at the moment. He's still solid, but he's not awesome. Jetpack Cat goes in A tier only because of Cat Bastion meta. If Cat Bastion meta was not a thing, Cat would be in D tier. But because of Cat Bastion meta, Cat's in A tier. Lucio S tier. I don't care if they nerfed his beat. Beat is still a good ultimate. Speed is still one of the best utilities in the game. He's still S tier. Argue with a rock. Don't argue with me. Moira is D tier. Moira is shit. Don't play Moira. If you play Moira, I'm going to report you for terrorism. Brig is S tier. Usually Brig Kiriko is what you play if you are not playing Brig Lucio. Brig just has a lot of utility to protect teammates and also AoE healing. Really good ultimate. Mercy is better than she was last season or since mid-season, so she's not D tier, but she is still not great. You could even maybe argue putting her in B tier, like low B tier, but I think she's C tier. She's average. Mercy is no longer a throw pick. Not a great pick, but no longer a throw pick. Baptiste, even after his healing buffs, is still B tier. The tanks that are really good right now is really tough for Bap to heal over Kiriko. Bap is still really good if you're playing Orisa, but Orisa gets hard blown up by Maga. And then the dive tanks are still decent even though they got nerfed. And Bap does not heal dive tanks really that well. Lifeweaver is pretty good. I can't even lie. He's not amazing. But since Kiriko is so strong and Kiriko gets banned a lot, Lifeweaver is a solid option to pick if you need something to cleanse. Cleansing Grip is really, really good. Let's see. Illari is B tier. You could argue she might be A tier, but because of her projectile size nerf, it's a lot harder to hit that shot, like the follow-up shot to kill something after you headshot something. So because of that reason, unless you're like really, really good at Illari, I don't think Illari is as good as she used to be. So she is B tier now. Zenyatta is the worst in the role. The only utility you have is Discord Orb, which is okay, but Zenyatta does not do enough healing to justify picking the character ever. I know Overwatch is a game of like having to do damage, but unfortunately, like Zenyatta's damage output in Discord is not a good enough utility to pick him over something that heals way more. And Ana is A tier. Ana is really good, not because of her healing, but because of her utility. Like her nade got buffed, and because things are really good right now that require anting and sleeping, she's a decent pick. And also nano speed boost is really, really good for things like Maga, for Emre, for pretty much anything that's a really hard hitting ultimate. Nano is just a really good ultimate to combo with, especially with the speed boost. So she's a solid pick. She's also played a lot with Cat Bastion. S tier and 66. I don't think so. But yeah, Ana is pretty decent. All right, and this is the supports. So Kiriko is the best. These two are really good. These are what you play with Kiriko. These are solid to pick because of their utility, except for Cat Bastion. He's played because of Cat Bastion. These are solid picks, but everything above is better. Okay, not a throw. Report for terrorism. Should not play this character ever. So we're going to go ahead and go with DPS next. Bastion is in the same tier as Cat Bastion because of Cat Bastion. Don't get me wrong, Cat Bastion is cheesy, but it's also like kind of hard to play. I don't know how to explain it. It's like there's a lot of times where you see people try and attempt Cat Bastion and it'll fail miserably, so they have to switch off of it. It requires some kind of coordination or some kind of setup for you to play it correctly. But it is really good if you play it correctly. OTP Moira. Yeah, you're getting the wrong idea here, pal. Cassidy's A tier. Stun, Silver Bullet. I don't need to see more. Genji is in C tier, probably. You could even argue he might be in B tier. I think Genji is okay. I think pretty much every flex DPS is better than every flex DPS is either on par or better than Genji, except for Sombra. He's still a really good combo with Ana, but since Ana is like not picked all the time, it's hard to justify playing Genji for Nanoblade because Emre is better than Genji, and it's probably arguably a better ultimate. And then Tracer, Reaper, Pharah, hell, even Symmetra, Echo are just better flex. Even Venture. We'll get to them later, but yeah. Hanzo's in B tier. One-shot potential. One-shot potential is always good. Hanzo is just harder to land. I don't care if people say he has logs. Hanzo is harder to land than he used to be. Junkrat's in C tier. I don't care if you die to spam down choke and you complain about him being broken. He is not broken. He is C tier. You can argue with my nutsack. Mei is B tier also. Mei is good on certain maps and very situational. Kind of like Junkrat. I would say Junkrat's a very situational character and really good on his maps. Mei is more flexible on the maps that she is not particularly quote-unquote good at. Like, Mei is really good on King's Row. Mei is really good on Eichenwald. However, you can still play Mei in situations that are not her quote-unquote maps. And I think she has really good utility, and then she also has a really decent ultimate. So I think she's a solid pick. Pharah is in B tier after her nerfs. You might even argue she's in A tier because she still does really strong damage with her perks being the way they are, but because of her perks that nerfed, you can't really one-shot things anymore. So I put her in B tier. Reaper's A tier. Dire Triggers being a part of his base kit's really strong. He has really good mobility, solid flex DPS to burst down some of the annoying tanks that are in the game. Soldier's B tier, playing Call of Duty. Symmetra is B tier unless you're in 66 and she's S tier, but we're not talking about 66. Symmetra is good on some maps, bad on other maps. And then she kind of just has an insanely high damage output and really good survivability because of her teleporter. And the teleporter has way too much HP. You can do really crazy setups with the teleporter. I've lost quite a few games due to Symmetra being really creative with the teleporters. So I'd say an overall okay pick, not a throw pick unless like you're terrible at sim. Torb. Depending how you play Torb, it could be in D tier, could be in A tier, so just put it in B tier. You'll find really good Torbs that hit every single Cheeto known to man, and then you'll think, why is Torb so broken? But then you'll find Torbs that flank with their turret, get their turret blown up, and they get fucking blown up. So I don't know. It's a hard character to just like figure out where to put because it depends on the player. I feel like Torb's potential means he could be an A tier because of Shotgun, and Shotgun is really good for bursting down tanks, and the turret's really good at marking flex DPS that are really annoying in the game. But it just depends on the player. Tracer is S tier. I really shouldn't have to explain why Tracer is S tier. Best flex DPS in the game. Takes a lot of resources out. Can pretty much solo carry games if you're good enough. Has a decent ultimate. Farms it really fast. Good damage. Yada yada yada. Widow is B tier. If she was ever not banned on her maps, I'd put her in A tier, but because she's always banned on her map, she's B tier. Her perk that lets you one shot through people is kind of insane. I got a collateral headshot one time. It was gross. I don't even play a lot of Widow. Sombra's the worst in the world. Don't pick Sombra, just pick Tracer. If Tracer is banned, then pick Reaper. Unless you're playing against specifically Wrecking Ball, then you can justify picking Sombra. Otherwise, pick a different character. Go back to spawn, press H. Ashe is interesting. I would put Ashe in B tier because Ashe is a character that unfortunately solely relies on Mercy Pocket to be really good. And if you're going to Mercy Pocket to hit scan, you might as well play Sojourn. Even for Ball Disco, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, the only reason you would justify picking Sombra is for Wrecking Ball, but there's other characters that you would pick for Wrecking Ball also. Echo, this might be a hot take. I think Echo is probably the highest, like really high in the A tier. I think Echo is probably the second or third best flex DPS, like right behind Reaper. Like, Echo has just unreal killing potential, and because you get 50% of your ultimate when you copy something with her perk, means you can copy like a Sigma or like another tank that has a really good ultimate, or even like copying Mei with Freeze. Like, you can get so much value with Echo with that perk and just copying an ultimate. And because Echo's ult builds really fast, you're probably going to get your ultimate and copy the enemy tanks and get that ultimate faster than the tank is to 50% of their ultimate half the time. Sticky bombs are just so good for farming damage and for farming ult, and again, tank ultimate is such a good utility to turn fights. You can even do stuff like copying an Ana and nanoing somebody. Like if you don't have an Ana on your team and you have an Emery on your team, you can copy Ana, nano your Emery with copy Ana, and then you can throw nades and stuff or whatever. Or you could do something stupid and copy Ana with an Ana on your team and then have a double nano your tank, and then Ana nanos the Emery. Who fucking knows? You mean, like, it's just like unlimited potential, really high skill ceiling, really good value. Sojourn is the best hit scan in the game. Big burst potential, good mobility, don't need to explain anymore. Venture is 50-50. Either you run lobbies or you get your pockets run. So S tier at the top, D tier at the worst, B tier middle of the road for both sides of the coin. Freya, I would say, is also B tier. Freya is really annoying to play against. But like, I don't know how to explain it. Really good Freyas have to like land all their arrows, which I understand isn't easy to do, but I hate the character. So I don't want the character to be any better than she is right now, especially with her bust that she got the mid-season. Like, I get she probably doesn't have a high pick rate or win rate, but it's like playing against Junkrat, right? Like, Junkrat is also objectively not fun to play against because of spam, and Freya just feels like worse Junkrat, like worse to play against Junkrat, because at least Junkrat grenades, I can see them and I can dodge them. Freya bolts are faster. That's my opinion of that. Vendetta is C tier. They kind of buffed her HP back mid-season, but Freya is not good, or Vendetta is not good. Like, even with Zarya, Vendetta feels like she blows up way too easily. Like, that's the only time you can really justify playing Vendetta is playing with a Zarya, and even then does not feel good. Onron, I would put at the bottom of A tier or the top of B tier. I'm going to put her at the top of B tier because some people are getting a little bit smarter on how to counter her. But Onron, if you're good at Onron, just lives forever and is the most annoying mosquito known to man. I'd say Onron is more annoying than Sombra to play against. And just because she has such good survivability and Maga's really good right now, you can just combo with Maga setting things on fire, and either you set things on fire so he gets free crits, or he sets things on fire and you get free fans. Emre got some pretty substantial nerfs to his grenade. He still shits out damage, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's really in the S tier category anymore. I think he's A tier. I think because of his nades getting nerfed as hard as they did, he really can't finish kills as much as he used to, but he still just he just shits damage. It's unreal. However, Sierra has taken his spot as the next S tier hit scan. Sierra pumps out so much damage, has really good perks, is a melt machine, And the ultimate's really good to combo with. Like Maga, Cage, Sierra, what are you gonna do? Nothing! So because Sierra's just gotten so many buffs, hasn't gotten any of those buffs reverted, does a lot of fucking damage, has a really decent ultimate, and has auto aim as an ability, and really good perks, just cracked out. And that's the DPS tier list. And then we're gonna go start with tanks. The brawl tank of choice, I think, is Ramatra. And I'm putting Ramatra in S tier because the other S tier brawlish tank is pretty commonly banned, and so you would play Ramatra in his place. Let's go. Like I said, I was talking about Ram. Ram has really good damage. His shield got a buff, even though his perks got swapped around, he's still really good. His ultimate's one of the best in the game. Overall, probably the best brawl tank in the game. So he's S tier. If Maga isn't played, which Maga gets banned a lot in ranked, but Maga is inherently, I think, the best tank in the game right now, because Maga's counters have gotten nerfed and Kiriko is so strong. Maga kind of just lives forever, especially if you ban Ana. Sucks. I don't want another Maga meta, but here he is. Hey, buddy. But yeah, Junker Queen is... Junker Queen got buffed, so she's like either like high C tier or bottom of B tier. She survives a little bit longer, but like she still gets countered by some of the best things in the game. Like she gets countered by Maga, gets countered by Kiriko, gets countered by Lucio beat if she ults, you know what I mean? So like, still not amazing, but you know, she's playable, especially on her maps. Sigma is in probably mid B tier because of his nerf to his shield. Sigma is, or like his perk where he gets like recharges shield. It's a lot harder for his shield to have his uptime as much as it did. So because it's harder to have his uptime as he used to, things like Maga and things that like he would normally counter can burn through his shield a lot easier now. So he's weird. Like he's still good on his maps. He still does a lot of damage. His ultimate is kind of weak because so many things can get out of it or deny it. Like Suzu denies it, Beat denies it, Rally can bash him out of it, Maga can run through it. Sierra can use a tracking dart on him when he's in mid-air. You know what I mean? Just things like that are just So yeah. Sleep Dart, Music Eel, Weaver Pool, Bap Lamp. All the mobility in the game. Cat dashes out of it. Grenade Jump. Wraith. Echo Boost. Speed Ring and Glide. Drone thingy bobber. Slide. Blink. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just so hard to get value of Sigil. Which is maybe a little bit of bias on my part, but I don't care. Wrecking Ball is B tier. Wrecking Ball has like the highest survivability of any tank in the game. Unfortunately, I think Wrecking Ball also just can't do in and get as much passive value as he wants to because of the things that are good right now. Fashion and Maga being as good as they are means Ball has less uptime in the middle of the fight. He still lives forever, but he's not in the fight as long. Doom is the worst character in the role. As much as I fucking can't stand Doomfist and how much I don't like being empowered punch, that is a team issue. Empowered punch can fucking hit you from Timbuktu if he punches someone else Timbuk forward in front of you, which is annoying as hell. And he lives forever. He has the perk that, you know, eats things, but the way they made the tank passive to where he has to be either in the air when he uses empowered punch makes it so like he doesn't get the healing from the initiator role as much as he used to, so he has less survivability, less uptime. He's the worst in the role. I don't know why they, if there's ever a point where they make it so it's tied to his slam instead of his punch, I'd probably put him back in B tier. But as he currently stands, he's the worst in the role. Orisa, I'd say Orisa's A tier. Orisa's a solid brawl tank to play. Orisa has really good matchup into Ramatra, even though she gets countered by Maga. And she kind of lives forever. So Orisa's pretty solid. High damage, weird ultimate, good combo with Ana, good combo with other things like Sierra. Good combo with Pulse Bomb, they pulse the ground, you just suck them all in. So Orisa's solid. Zarya is also A tier because the things that are really good right now, Zarya really doesn't have to bubble. But if you run some comps like Bastion and he swings, or running like Reaper, or running Cat Bastion and you're bubbling the cat in the air, you know, things like that. Like there is uses for Zarya bubble, and she still does a shit ton of damage. She just doesn't have like the perma Vendetta bubble target no more, because Vendetta's not as good anymore. The initiator nerf, I think Winston's in B tier because so many things just blow up Winston, bro. Like Bastion blows up Winston, Reaper blows up Winston, Cass blows up Winston, Echo blows up Winston, Sojourn melts Winston bubble, Zero melts Winston bubble. And like you can just tag Winston on his exit out, so you just have auto aim on him while he's arcing out of the fight. Like, I don't know. And Brig is also really good. Winston is just tough. He's still like, you can still make him work pretty well, but I'm going to be honest, you're going to get hard countered 90% of the time, which is tough. Hazard is at the tippy top of A tier, low-key S- tier. However, because he gets his healing every 6 seconds instead of 4 seconds because of the initiator nerf, he blows up slightly more now. He's still really good, but I can't really justify putting him in S tier anymore because he's a lot easier to blow up. However, Diva, regardless of her nerfs, is still the best dive tank in the game. But she's not as good as blowing things up because her missiles got nerfed, which is why like Maga is the best tank in the game, because Diva can still eat his shit, but Maga, she doesn't blow up Maga as easy as she used to. Easier to blow up, not easier to blow. Reinhardt is in D tier. Rein sucks. However, if your team does not know how to play against a Reinhardt, which is in like 70% of ranked games, he's like B tier. I don't know what it is about it, but Rein players on my team, and probably a lot of people watching this team, have brain worms that just press shift key and blow up. However, if I'm playing against a Reinhardt, my team doesn't know how to blow up the fucking Reinhardt. So it's like, on paper he's D tier, but in practice he's probably B tier because people don't know how to play against him. So I don't know. That might put him in like low C tier then, but take this placement of Reinhardt as it can be switched around between these 3 ranks. It's up to the viewer. I'm putting him in D tier because every Rein player I've had on my team has a brain worm that says int, fucking parasites speaking to them. This one's tough. I think I'd put Roadhog in B tier because Hook is still a really good utility and he is still really strong. But Maga, bro. Maga just eats up Roadhog. And then I'd say Domina's B tier. Domina's just like in the middle of the road tank. Like you can play her over Sigma. She does damage. That's about it. I don't know. Her ultimate's not that great, especially with Maga and Bastion being really good. They can just melt the ultimate for their team. Her ultimate feels pretty mediocre, I can't lie. And the amount of damage she does doesn't really justify picking her over some other things. Domina Bunny, though. Domina Bunny, though. This is the tier list, though. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And thanks for watching.